So try to check this out. Look at this here right now. I think the stage is set for something pretty big through here, right? We can see this whole $70 area through here. And we can see how this whole area, what's been happening is ever since this low of 2020, now we've been building up through here. It's like this big, massive head and shoulder formation, extended right shoulder. But if that's a projection, a long way down we go when it comes to that level through there. Also, guys, platinum. Did you listen to me with the whole platinum marker? I talked to you about the breakout, what's been happening here right now, right? I talked to you about a while ago here that we're actually starting to break out, and we've actually had some really nice follow through already. There could be something really big in the makings right now when it comes to the good old platinum market. Also, I want to cover this thing here as well too. I talked about this in yesterday's video, but I want to cover this whole, when you look at something like this here and you look at fundamental data like this Ray Dalio top through here, right? We also talked about yesterday about having, what's happening with 1929 is happening now right now. And we can also even go down to this whole bottom through here where we can compare to all the big crashes in history. I'm going to be talking to you about how you should be thinking about what is presented in a big macroeconomics, so you don't start to get your knickers in a knot and you can make smart decisions around this place. And then also, I want to answer a question I got from Elon Musk. I got a question from Elon Musk. Elon Musk new network or something. Anyway, he talked about options and how you should be thinking about options. Should you buy options? Should you short options? All that sort of stuff. What do I think about the options prices? Why do I like to use primarily options? And I'll talk to you about that all in this video here. So guys, do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in today's video. There's no guarantees of making you a profit. Also, traders, I'm giving away free access to my trading course. All my top strategies and systems are in that course. So go get it. Now, let's go start off with the good old oil market here. One of the big things I've been really hoping and sitting on right now, or not hoping, wrong word, sitting on and waiting for is this oil market, right? So see this oil market from here? We have been sitting here. Now, this whole $70 level, especially short term, right? So this is where it gets pretty cool, right? Look at this here. Short term, support. Now, this is a weekly chart, by the way. So this here represents a whole 30 days. I know one day is too long for you, right? Sometimes a week is too long for you. But I'm trying to show you that that's about a week. This here is about a whole, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. That's about 3 months worth of action through there. Then look what happens. What is going on through here? You see that? You see that? Now, what that typically means this, right? There's two different types of what I call false breakout levels, okay? If this is going to be a false, there's two different things you should be concerning when looking at markets that break down or break up past their support or resistance levels. The first level that we should be focusing on is this. This is if it's going to be a false breakout, we will get this type of pattern. Support. We would get that support level there, right? That's the whole level of support all through there. Make sense? Then the market will actually break straight through. It'll hold through here and it'll get back above. So if indeed this is a false breakdown, which I don't think it is, if indeed it is, then guess what? Then we're probably going to start to get a move back up to there. We're going to get a breakout. And if we got, by the way, if we got something like this here, oil's going to go to the moon. But right now, what is the market doing? It has been what? Firstly, we broke down. Major support level through here, we broke down, and now we're just holding through here. Not only that, but we're starting to get a lot of momentum. So the momentum indicator I like to use is the 24 on the weekly. And then if I go to my daily charts, this is the 52 on my daily charts. Just one moving average. And I like to use this from a momentum perspective in the markets. So we squeeze our charts up from here, squeeze it up from here, and this is what's happening here. So it's a bit of a do or die territory. I'm more on the die territory. What does that simply mean? Do simply means it's a false breakdown and we're going to break back up. What do you think? What do you think in the comment section below? Is oil dead or is it oil do? Is oil do or die? Do or die? I say die. Maybe die is the wrong word, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The reason why I'm saying that here is this, right? We hold this level through here. If we break above this level from here, this is, and the reason why I'm excited about oil either way, this is the stage is set. The coming collapse and waterfall, I truly believe, is going to happen out of this market. Now, that's what I see. But if it doesn't, and we get that little thing going on through there, guess what? Now we're going to have a big move up. Either way, I'm good. But the stage is set for a coming collapse. And if it holds here, and if we get a little holdy here, right? And then little hold action through here, right? And then we start to do something like that, and then we come back down through here, right? We can see that if this market does hold and we start to break this low here, it is a confirmed false breakdown. And when it's confirmed, we are about to get an absolute hammering, probably around the $30 to $40 mark on a level that I can see happening through there. So that's what I'm seeing there, guys, when it comes to the good old oil market. Let's go down to the platinum market here. This is one market I've been watching for, guys, and man, oh man, this is just getting heated up. In fact, the actual ETF, this is the ETF here, by the way. Oh no, not that through there. Look at the ETF. This is the one that I've been watching for. Maybe even took a trade on it the day I mentioned it to you guys. But we're just saying now. Look at this here. Big breakout on platinum. Big breakout on platinum, right? The day I mentioned it to you. And look at it go to the moon, right? This is just getting started, by the way. Just getting started. Now, do not be a little munchkin in the chat box that, oh my goodness, John said it's gone to the moon. I'm going to go buy some now before I miss out. You are a moron. Don't do that. Why? Because even though I just said that, I could be wrong. And the market comes down to here. If I am in a trade, I get taken out of break even. You make a loss because you chased the trade and you got in based off what a YouTube video did. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. You need some sort of, right? So the platinum market is big breakout. And by the way, the good old platinum market, where do I see platinum market going? This is where it gets so cool, don't it, guys? This is so awesome. The platinum market, I see at least having a move up towards that 120 level. Now, how that happens, does it keep going up? Do we get a little pullback first to set up a nice little setup and then continuation? I don't know, but what I do know is this breakout here and this big, look at this here, this breakout here, and then we have a cluster of volume. You see that volume through here? Look at all that cluster of volume. You know what that means, right? For all this time, we've had volume spike, but not very big clusters of volumes. Look what's happening here now. What does that mean when we're doing this here? That means there's a lot of big boys buying this market up, right? The big boys are coming in. We, birdies, we're just like, what's the big boy doing? What? So due to the fact we got a breakout and it continued up, one says it's a true breakout, not a false breakout. And the good old volume levels tells you what? Tells you that, we could be starting to get ready for a move on the upside. And this could be the start of a really big move. Now, start of a really big move simply means it could actually have a pause here, have a bit of a pullback, then continue up. You just never know. And I could be wrong with that as well too, right? So again, I may or may not have taken a trade on this one here. I'll leave that for my inner circle members. They know what I've done. Anyway, so let's actually continue on for the other markets. And let's actually just have a quick look around the markets today when it comes to just the stock market and so on and so forth. And we'll have a quick look at the actual short-term analysis, see what's going on here on a good bit of a short-term TA for you. Right, short-term TA. Let's go to here. Right, let's actually take off the moving average here for a minute. We don't need any of the moving averages. Let's bring that down. So what we're seeing through here is what? The Dow Jones is still above this line here, so we are still in a very nice upward movement from here. What happens here? There's two different things that can happen here, and I really want you to keep a close eye on this pattern here, right? There's two different things. Both sides equal big move. Now, the first thing is this short-term upward movement is going to stay intact. If that happens, this is what we're going to start to see, okay? So keep this in mind. We're going to start to see this, This here, if we get something like that, new highs are coming and probably a big move up to 50,000, maybe even 60,000. Did John just say 60,000, Dow? You are a moron, John. Should see the comments in the comment section. Guys, it's just an opinion. It doesn't mean anything. Right? By the way, if you trade just on opinion, I don't trade on opinions. I trade on probabilities of things working out. Right? They're called systems, strategies, all that sort of stuff, right? And by the way, if you don't even actually have a trading system, you don't even know what you're looking for in a high quality setup, you are on the back foot, right? You need my free course. Go get my free course, right? Learn the stuff. But look at this here. Second stage is what? Second stage is that we do come down. We're probably going to get a bit of bounce. But then we pause. And then we start to get a breakdown like this. Uh-oh. Zibble top. Market roll over. Market break this support level through here. Market go down to new lows. Well, that's what Paul Tudor Jones is saying. Or he did say a few weeks ago. Let's see what's going to happen here. But either way, what should we be doing? Should we listen to me? No. Should we listen to Ray Dalio? No. Should we listen to a YouTube video? No. Should we listen to, but John, the unemployment? No. John, inflation? No. 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 What is the chart telling us? The chart's giving us some guidance, right? The market will give us some guidance about what's going to come next. So keep an eye on the price. That's the most important part. Moving on now through to the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq's pretty much the same type of thing, right? The same. Look at this here, big move up. We do actually have a bit of, that was a resistance level through there. That last support level was through here. So this actually may be, yeah. The way I'm seeing this here now is, wow, this is actually pretty cool, isn't it? The Nasdaq's so strong, isn't it? By the way, traders, for you guys that are a bit more, you guys know that for me, traders, the way that I personally trade is I like to get in and hold things for a month or two and jump on big profits, not a lot of trades. All right. I trade only 1 hour per day. The reason why is because I use my scans to find the trades and then I'm just managing the trades I'm in. Right. I like to stay in things for you guys that are intraday trading, get in, get out. You know what I'm looking for, right? You know that's the worst thing. Don't be looking for a $200 trade. Right. What you want to be doing is like the way that I personally trade is that instead of me getting in, getting out all the time, I'm going to get into a position and hold it like a few trades I'm in right now, which are really nicely in profit. Like platinum, if I did take that trade, I may or may not have been in that market and benefiting very nicely already from that nice move up. You know, like these moves. I like to get in things when they're starting the next move. Because by the way, I know what to look for when it's like to be starting the next move. And jumping in and holding it for a few weeks, a month, sometimes 2 months, and riding a big bull move and jumping on a very big profit. So looking at this level from here, if we come down to here and we hold and we continue back up to here, we're probably going to break a new high and we're probably going to run again. And this is just going to be a higher low and a higher low, right? So that's what we're seeing from there, from the good old Nasdaq. Let's go look at the S&P. S&P is actually, look at this here, right at that level of support, right? Smack on support. Look where we are right now. Now look what's happening through here. This here is that level of support, isn't it? X marks the spot. We've almost come down and closed the gap, haven't we? Now, if we do break down from here, right? If we do start to break down from here and we start to get a breakdown from here, this whole resistance, all this support level 3, what's this going to become now? Haha, you got it, right? Little resistance back through here and we're probably going to start to head down from there. But if we do something like this here, why we do something like, check this out. Well, we get a move down, come back down, close the gap, come back up, close through there, and we do something like that. Then we're probably going to break up to new highs. Then my 7,500 target is probably going to be hit this year. What? 7,500 target? John, you're kidding me. No. You know we're at 6,000 and we're almost at all-time new highs and we still have another 6 months to go. And this whole thing happened in 1 month or 2 months. Actually, it was 2 months, wasn't it? Interesting. You do know that, right? So that's what's happening right now there on the S&P. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? This is short-term TA, guys. Short-term TA. The thing you want to understand about short-term TA is this, right? I go on based on what the charts are telling me. And some of the hardest things that I call them boys in the markets, because you've been trading for a little bit of time and you have no idea how this works. On a technical analysis, you flow with the market. So right now, the market could be bullish. But then a week or 2 weeks from now, the market starts turning into a bearish mode and you have to go with that. People are like, John, you were bearish a month ago. Why aren't you still bearish? The market moved and it created new patterns, right? And so when we're looking at this level from here from Ray Dalio, this is the big debt crisis here from Ray Dalio, a bit of an article that I put together for everyone here. And I was looking at where are we, and this thing actually says this here. I covered this yesterday, but just a bit of recap here. That's obviously where we are right now on the big debt cycles, right? And Ray Dalio, according to his template, is that especially when it comes to 1929, we're getting a lot of the same things, right? 1929, extreme asset prices, we're getting the same thing with the tech stocks. Massive debt build-up, we know the whole big thing right now with Doge, there's a lot massive debt build-up. Fed raise rates into fragile economy. We do know while high inflation and consumers getting killed, the Fed raised rates on them. Wealth gaps, we know the wealth inequality, tax to rich, all so on and so forth. Wealth traps, wealth weakness in trust and capitalism, and so on and so forth here, right? So we're getting this whole thing going on here. Now, this is what's happening here, right? This is 1929. The question I have to ask you is, where are we though? Yes, this was happening here, but where are we? Are we 3 months from the top? See, some people see this like, oh my goodness, that is so bad. The market's going to top today and it's going to be down 20% tomorrow. No. Look up for what it is, okay? There's technical analysis. Use technical analysis from short-term movements. What we're looking at here is what you want to be looking at from an overall broad-based, you know what I'm talking about, right? Overall broad-based. The reason why I'm saying that is that because it takes time for things to happen, especially on the S&P 500, right? If we go look at the weekly chart and we go back to the 2008 stock market crash, right? This is the 2008. Look at this here. These are weekly bars. It takes time for things to form a top. It takes time for us to go down into a bear market. And in a bear market, we go what? We go down and we go up. We go down for 3-4 months and we go up for a couple of months and we come back down. And you see what I'm saying? This is what we're going to see. This is the thing. We're not going to go straight down. So even though if you're fearful of the stock market crashing, we will step down like we did there. Right? The growth, financial collapse, 2008, so on and so forth. That's what we're going to get. So the purpose of me bringing this up here, some people see a report like this here, like, oh my goodness, it's the same thing. Ray Dalio's giving us warnings. We're at the top. The market's going to go tomorrow. No, stop. Let's be sensible here. Be sensible. What are you doing right now? It's emotions, a FOMO and fear, and oh my goodness, stop. No, logic. Yes, this can be happening right now. But what can the stock market do? The stock market can go for another move up, right? This may be still leading into here right now, and what could happen right now, we just don't know. What could be setting up. And this is where you want to be careful. It's just an overall basis, right, of what's coming. We could be forming a base, and we go up to here somewhere. Then we come back down into late this year. Then we do that, and then by the end of 2026, we're down here somewhere. Boom. Right? Middle of 27. You see what I'm saying there, right? So we can go for another big move to the upside. Doesn't mean we're saying we can't, right? All that is giving you a template is saying, yes, over the next few years, we're probably going to go through a big bear market. But it doesn't mean we're not going to get another big, extraordinary, big bull move, right? Now, by the way, I'm actually guessing we're probably going to get that initially, right? So whenever you see reports like this, and for you guys that saw this report yesterday, yes, big, massive tops coming. Oh my goodness, here we go. It's going to come down. We know that, right? But we just don't know how it's going to play out. So the number one thing we should be doing is what? Continue to watch the price action, right? We know the big fundamentals are weak. We know there's a recession coming. There's a big crash coming. But when's it going to start? Is it going to be now? Let the market tell you, right? We don't know. But what I do know, that's right, I did say that twice, is this. If for some reason we start to go into a bit of a bear market from here. Now, by the way, guys, this won't happen. This was just a crash. The market's not going to crash on us, right? There's nothing here to crash about. the market will go down. And if it's going to go down, it'll go down for a bit. If it's going to go to a bear market, then it'll go a step up. Then it'll come back down here again. Then it'll do something like that. Right? This is what it will start to do this type of action. And that's going to lead into, okay, now we're starting to get the top. You see what I'm saying here, right? So this is where, firstly, don't remove your emotions. Your emotions are always wrong, right? You never want to get emotional about this thing. Or it's very, very hard, right? Not to do that. But I'm trying to share with you here, guys, that put them together. Firstly, this is just more like an idea of, okay, what is coming? So when it happens over the next 2 years, and I say happens over the next 2 years, that means within the next 2 years. Some people think, John, I have to wait 2 years for this to happen? No, within the next 2 years. We're probably going to be in the thick of it. Is it starting now? Maybe. Is it going to be the start of next year? Maybe. Are we going to see the really big collapse and the really big movement? Maybe over the next 6-7 months of second half of next year? Maybe. Right? See what I'm saying there, right? So we never want to really get into the whole what's happening here. This is more like just to say, okay, it's coming. And this is the big picture. But then also keep reality as it is and not what you think it is or hope it is or fearful. Because you saw an intraday chart and the market went down 0.01% on a 1 minute chart. And you think that's going to collapse and we're going to be down 20% overnight tomorrow. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. Now, what will happen is that, just remember, the strong selling comes from when the market does these, the market starts to go into downward trends, right? So like for example here, check this out. This week gets so cool. The market will go up. The market will come down, it'll rally. And then we'll come down and we'll get a very strong rally. So this here, by the way, looks very, very similar to something like this here, just a bit broader, right? We can see how, look at this rallied up to, almost near the highs. So if this here is going to be one of these down period, then let's go down deeper to that there. Let's go deep, y'all. Oh, that is the daily charts. Weekly charts, daily charts. So if we're going to start to go down, if that's going to be the same type of thing, let's go zoom right in. Okay. If we're going to that, we're going to start to get a lot of weakness, right? We're going to start to get some strong selling. Then we know something else is happening right now. Now, what is that? Firstly, as you can see, this is very similar to what we're seeing right now, aren't we? Actually, it's actually pretty freakishly similar. We do know that was support. We had a bit of a rally, then it came down. We actually rallied back up there. We're making a bit of double top. Right? So if we do start to come down through to here, the big level you want to watch for is for 50%, right? And look at this here. It held that 50%, but then we started to get some stronger selling. Then we actually started to get this downward movement, right? So that's what you will start to see. Let the market tell you. If the market does start to not hold these levels, then we can start to say, okay, not just like last year where we had this movement here down 25%, right? And then the market took off. We're probably going to get that big move on the downside. But it's not a bad thing. Why? Because let me tell you something here. Or let me show you something here, should I say. Right? One thing that's so important to sort of grasp around these markets is this. Right? And this is especially for you guys that have, a few $1 million or more in an investment account, like a large investment account. I have a trading account. I have an investment account as well. So I'm keeping an eye on the long-term stuff. I have long-term stuff in the markets, right? I'm a short-term trader where my trading style is about 30 to 60 minutes per day, but I'm looking to get in and jump on a big move to make a big profit. And I do that for a whole 12 months. That's how I make my yearly income. And then I have a really big investment portfolio where I've got buy and hold, right? And I got where I'm positioned right now is certain things. But anyway, the purpose of me saying this here is looking back over the markets here. We do know that when the market starts to go down through here, the Fed's they're gonna drop the rates. Well, they're starting to drop the rates already, which is a sign that we're at the top. But then there's going to be massive QE again, right? And then when that happens, guess what? We're going to start to see these prices again, these prices here, right? And this is not 3 years. Could you imagine that happening and you just bought a long-term option? Right, you're probably talking 400-500% growth on an option, right, over a 3 year period. And that's just looking at the indexes here on the S&P, right? If you looked at individual stocks, but then also you wouldn't just buy it, right? You'd wait for some bottoming action. Like there's one stock right now I'm looking at, and I think it's actually got crushed lately. There's one stock, and I'll bring it up for you guys. UNH. Well, I'm not in it yet, But I'm looking for an amazing buying opportunity here soon, and I'm waiting for a bit of a trigger to happen. When I haven't got triggered it yet, but UNH is one of those stocks where I'm actually looking to buy for a good 6 to 12 months. But I haven't got it yet, right? I could be wrong. This could be a big bottom. It looks like we've got a bit of a capitulation here. But this is one of those stocks that I'm looking for. But I'm looking all through here. I'm looking for a certain pattern to look for to say that we've bottomed out before we actually start to get a rise in the market. Make sense, guys? So the purpose of me saying what I'm saying here is I'm referring that to, it's important to start to know the understandings. It'll probably take me another 20 minutes just to tell you about that. But it's understanding of, okay, the patterns, there's certain patterns that form at the bottoms of markets, right? At least for short-term bottoms. Like, for example, the recent short-term bottom happened on Tesla, happened on Apple, happened on the stock market. They all form the same type of bottoming patterns through here before they go up. So it's the same thing I'm looking for in UNH. Bit of a tip for you guys. But I'm not in UNH right now, and I'm waiting for the setup. It may bottom out here and continue up, and I'm going to miss out. Or we're going to get my setup here that I'm looking for to say that the setup's telling me that we're bottoming. And then this could be you get something like that and then we bottom, man, there could be a 3 or 4 or maybe even a 500% return on my options, because it's going to be an option trade for me. This is how you get big moves, right? It's like, anyway, there's so many opportunities out there right now, right, guys? And the purpose of saying this here is that you can do 2 things here with your trading, okay? If you're just a freebie guy, I mean, you're just watching YouTube videos, you do know YouTube videos are just general. See what I'm doing here? This is general. What do I teach in my inner circle, my coaching program? What do I teach? I teach you exactly what to look for. This is a powerful setup. This is the setup. This is the exact day you should be getting into. This is how you maximize your profit and cut your losses short. So on and so forth, right? See the differences here. That's where you want to find someone on YouTube you like and go deep with that one person only, right? You know yourself. It's master of one. And we can go from there. So that's what I want to share with you there. Now let's actually go to, there's a question that I had that I want to help you out, and that is Elon Musk. Elon Musk did ask me a question. You guys do that, realize that. Thank you, Elon Musk. I didn't know I could help you out with your trading, but let me actually bring you. Oh! Ah! Oh, look at that. My background. You guys are looking at this picture, aren't you? You guys are looking at that picture, aren't you? This is my background, by the way. Yeah. You want to see my background? So this is my background. It's part of my background, right? There's a car. I'm in the motorbikes. House. Start each day with God, grace, and gratitude. $3 million. This is actually my... This is $3 million. That's actually my goal for amount of profit I'm looking to make in one trade. So that's my target to make in one trade. And I'm on the search for my next great love of my life. So that's the reason why this is my background. Plus I've got a few other things like jet skis and stuff that you can't see here. But that's the main thing there, guys. Car's just a nice symbol. Motorbike, because my daughter's into motorbikes as well too. This one through here. This one's the big one. This is the biggest one for me. Start each day with God, grace, and gratitude. Always asking God for grace. This one here just represents holidays and stuff that I want to do. Obviously, I'm setting myself up to meet the next great love of my life. And then also my goal here, $3 million. That's my target to make in one trade. I know that sounds pretty big for you guys, but that's the type of trader I am, right? I'm not, when people get coaching from me, and let me bring this back up again. When people get coaching from me, guys, rest assured that I'm a coach where I'm not looking for $1,000 trade. I'm not looking for a few $100 trade. I'm not looking for a $10,000 trade. I am looking for those trades, but my ideal trades, I'm looking to get into trades that's likely to do me 6 figures and more, right? Multiple 6 figures. And that's the reason why I have a target, and I think you should too, but you need to back it up with action for that. Anyway, that's my screensaver. I know some of you guys were like, oh, what's that screensaver? That's my screensaver in the background you just saw. Anyway, back to the Elon Musk. Elon Musk question here. So, here's the thing. He said, do you think it's better to sell or buy options? And this is really interesting. So thank you so much, Elon Musk. And by the way, if there's any questions you guys have, please put them in the comment section so I can actually do things like this to help you out. No matter what you're doing, guys, I've been doing this for 20 years now, and I'm sure some of the stuff that I'm sure, at least 10% of the stuff I say is going to help you out. So do you think it's better to sell or buy options? I keep hearing people tell me it's better to sell but I don't like large capital commitments when you sell and risk of having my shares assigned. Exactly. Now, let's talk about this here, right? This is something really, 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 really big. Let me give you a bit of a story here, okay, Elon Musk? I'll give you a true story, okay? So it was, I started trading 20 years ago, right? So 2005 and 6, that's where I started trading. 2005, I think it was. Yeah, because then I registered my new company, which I've still got my company right now. It's been going for that long. Anyway, so I'll tell you a true story about this. And I want to show you here. So when I first started trading, I just learned, I wasn't smart enough to understand like, what? Selling options? Spreads? Writing options? Like, I'm not smart enough for that. Oh, if I buy a call and market goes up, I make money. Oh, I could do that. Oh, if I buy a put option and the market goes down, I can make money. Oh, okay, I can do that. That's all I need to know. And that's all. And I just stayed with that. Now, here's what I found. Okay, true story. So it was back in my day, right? Back in my day, in 2008, it was me, and through 2007, I was doing pretty good. In 2008, I had a friend of mine, right? And a friend of mine, we actually became business partners together through 2008. And the business partner of mine, right? My strategy was I'm purely technical analysis, and I'm purely just looking to buy options, and I'm looking to make as much profit as I can out of that option, and I'm looking to cut my losses short. So big profits, small losses. And I'm purely just all I'm doing is I'm finding where the trend is. I'm waiting for one of those pullbacks, and then I'm getting in on the next move, right? Stuff like that. So that's all. Again, guys, if you know anything about my strategy, which by the way, guys, in that free course, link in the description there, as soon as you register for the free course, the very first video you get is an hour-long video, me walking you through my strategy. So I teach you for free. So you've got no excuses. Now, here's the thing. Here's what happened. My mate, so that was me, okay? Options, I'm buying options, that's all I need to know. Then my mate, he was more like a fundamental guy, right? It's like, oh yeah, these are fundamentally undervalued, and then he started doing these writing options. He started doing spread strategies, right? Spread strategies. Now here's the thing. Prior to 2008, because of a very big bull market, my mate / my business partner at the time, he was making on his peak around $500,000 to $600,000 per month. Yes, that's right. Millions and millions and millions of dollars of, potentially assigned of that. But he was doing spread strategies, right? Spread strategies. So selling options, buying options. It was a credit spread strategy. So here was credit. Now, what's wrong with that? Credit spread is what? You receive a credit, and that's the maximum you can make. But you can lose a lot more if it goes wrong, right? This is the hard thing. Most people the biggest mistake that I made for so long is I kept focusing on the profit only. But I wasn't thinking, oh my goodness, I'm receiving a 30-cent credit here. I could make a 30-cent credit today. I get it. The next trade I'll do another 30-cent credit. I just made 60 cents. And oh, by the way, my next trade was a loss, and now I just lost 70 cents. You see what I'm saying here, right? You don't want to be like that. You want to be in a situation where you could have one win, 4 losses, and still be massively in profit. Where you get in one trade that makes you a really big profit. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, right? If you get into good trades and so on and so forth. So what ended up happening with him was that the big issue with selling options is you're capping your profit. The idea to trading is having big profits, small losses. If you're just going to completely sell options and do it naked, that is the worst strategy to do on the planet. The worst strategy. And I guarantee you, even if you do well for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, every month, expired worthless. Especially if you're doing put options, right? Oh, market's going back up. Here we go. 1 month, put options, sell, keep the credit. Cool. Do it again. And you know what happens? You go do it on a stock. You get into it. You do the same thing. That stock has a bad earnings. It gaps down 30%, well past your put option. And now guess what you have to do? you now, my friend, just wiped out your entire 10 months, maybe even more of losses losses on that trade. Why would you want to set yourself up like that? You need to set yourself up so you're thinking long-term success in the markets. And long-term success in the markets is, I need to, one, have a powerful strategy that's likely to make a big move. So that's the first thing that we need to know. Then secondly, I need to be in a situation where I can capitalize on big trends, make big profits, but when I'm wrong, I'm going to have small losses. The big issue with what you're doing there and the spread strategy is you're capping your profit. Now, I'm not saying you can do spread strategies and so on and so forth, right? You can do that sort of stuff. But the selling options is not the way to go. The biggest thing here is what? You need to know how to identify do you know what to look for in a good high quality setup? That's what you should be doing. Because if you do, just simply buy the option and make a big profit from it. Most of the time, right? A few trades I'm in right now. Platinum. Anyway, again, so I hope you get what I'm trying to say here, right? So that's the biggest flaw from there. Remember, we want to set ourselves up to have a really good year. Do you want to make small profits, big losses? Or do you want to make big profits, small losses? You want to make big profits, small losses, right? Well, don't sell options. Sell options, you're capping your profit. And then the potential when it does go wrong, which it will every now and then, even happens to me, you're going to have a big loss. For me, I could have 1, 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months of successful trades. And then in my 6th month of having a losing trade, I might have wiped out 1 month of my profits. But I'm still up for the year because now I'm up 4 or 5 months of profits. Because I did that. You see what I'm doing here? You want to have the layer of the foundation to you succeeding in trading. How are you thinking about this? A lot of people, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong, they're focusing on the profit and not the risk. The biggest thing that has helped me with my trading is every time I get into a trade right now, I'm thinking about, if this is a loss, what am I risking? Right? So as an example, say for example, platinum, right? Say for example, platinum. If I get into an option trade with that, which by the options weren't pretty good, future trade, whatever. Just say I got into a $20,000 position there. And I knew a really big loss out of that $20,000 position was, and I'll utilize the options example of this one here, right? So if I got into a $20,000 position with options, I know that I'll be risking on a big loss for me in the type of option I buy. I know that I would be risking roughly 50% on a big loss. Average 20, 30%. With me so far? Now here's the thing. Platinum, I use platinum as an example here. Right? And let's just go to PPLT here for a minute. I'm using this here because it's on my mind right now. Right? PPLT. Breakout here. Let's just say, for example, I'm wrong. Right? And it doesn't go up. Again, I may or may not be in this trade already. I'm saying that because if I tell you, anyway. But if I got into here and the market goes down like that, guess what? I get out for a loss. This might be a 50% loss big time. But if I'm right about platinum and the market does do something like this over the next couple of months, I'm probably going to make 3, 4, 500% return. Now, let's just say I did do that and we did end up starting to make a really big move. This breakout here of this down big move, and we did over the next couple of months start to see, wait, wrong one. I'm utilizing this as an example, guys, but I'm trying to show you the right thinking, right? If I got into this trade, say I did a $20,000 trade, right? $20,000 trade right here. And with that $20,000 trade, let's actually bring on this one here, right? So with that $20,000 trade, so I did a $20,000 trade there and I bought options, okay? As an example. And the market over the next couple of days does this on me. Now, you wouldn't buy it here right now. It's too late. But you get what the point I'm saying here. And if the market does that, I know it was a false breakout. I get out. Again, a big loss would be what? $10,000 loss. So now I'm risking $10,000. As an example. Now, if you had a $20,000 trading account, you wouldn't do a $20,000 trade, right? It's just, no, you wouldn't do that, right? Keep your risk small. So let's just say, for example, I did that through there as an example. This is where it gets really, really awesome once you know what you're doing. Okay? So firstly, it's identifying big breakouts that's likely to make big moves. Check. 1. Okay, so I'm risking $10,000. I know what I'm risking here now, right? But if I am right about this trade and we do start to make our moves up towards these levels up through here somewhere, because that's the next major resistance, and we do start to make our way up through here, again, I could be up 3, 4, 500%, maybe more. Now, let's just say, for example, I looked at one of those best case scenarios, 500%. I'm now what? I'm now up $100,000 for my $20,000 trade. So I'm risking, in this example, $10,000 to make $100,000. Maybe more, maybe it just keeps going up like that. We have a big rocket ship and we end up doing that for 2 or 3 months because anyway, I won't go into details, but anyway, I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. This is how I make good money in the markets. It's not that I don't have losses, it's that I could be 50-50 right with this sort of stuff and know that I could be getting into a trade. I could have one loss, I could have a $10,000 loss here, a $10,000 loss here, a $10,000 loss here. Oh, look, I just had a $70,000 profit. Do you see what I'm getting at here? This is why it's so easy for me to make money now. Now, I wouldn't say easy. I still have to, the education, it's easy for me now because the backdrop of this is what? I need to know what I'm looking for in the first place, right? So you need to know the setup. But I'm trying to bring it around here but how do you, having this foundation is going to give me a high probability because one, I do actually have my system, the pattern that's likely to make a big move in the first place. It's not just me, yes, this works, but it only works when you have a really powerful pattern that's likely to make a big move. With me so far? So whenever you're thinking about the markets, you want to have a good foundation of you having success, right? And how you actually have that is firstly, control your risk, right? And we've all heard that, we know that sort of stuff, right? But then also, secondly, you never want to set yourself in a situation where you are going down this path where why would you have a small loss, big profit situation every single time? And why would you cap your profit? That is ludicrous. Why? Because you need that, right? You need a good, 20, 30, maybe 40% of the months to have these types of moves over here. So then the other 60 months, if there's some smaller profits, maybe some losses in there, you still can come out and say, I had an amazing year because I had 3 trades throughout the year. Even though I had some smaller losses, I had 3 trades that did this plus. And then I might have had some losses in there. So I'm still up. You get what I'm talking. This is the foundation. And then you can start to go to, that's where you start to look at $500,000 potential profit, $1 million profit when you start to increase. You see the foundation I'm talking about here. So the big thing for you guys is as you're going down this path here, and every single one of you, don't be fooled by the whole, I can get money now just for making a promise, because it's going to run you over. And you don't need that, right? You don't need to go down that path there. And this is the reason why, guys, for me, I've been in the market for so long, is because I'm thinking about my year ahead. I do not want to be in a situation, and that's what selling options will. You will be in a situation where you can do well for so many months throughout the year, and all it takes is one really bad month, and you are absolutely destroyed. You have sent your account not back to break even, but down a lot more in big losses. That is not a foundation for long-term success. I know I'm going to do really, really well for long-term success because of why, right? Because of why? Because the really big thing that the question here is because this through here. What's better, selling or buying? I like to buy. Why? 1, I can have small losses, and 2, I can have really big profits. Would you want big profits, small losses, or small profits, big losses? Do not sell options, especially naked. This is where you can get in some real deep shit. Especially if you don't have enough margin to cover it, the broker is potentially going to absolutely just destroy you. So anyway, traders, I hope this helped you out. Obviously, you've made it towards the end of this video. So I want to give you a bit of a gift. For the first person only to email me at Hal, my last name, Hal, Trader, Trader @gmail.com. Hal, Trader, Gmail. I'm not going to put the details in the description here, right? So only for the people that have watched this you've watched almost 45 minutes now of this video. So I want to give you a bit of a gift. For the first person only, I don't normally do this, right? I have a coaching program that sells for $5,000, but only for $495. I'm going to allow you to get access to the coaching program for 6 months, right? For me to coach you and so on and so forth. But it's for the first person only. And again, I'm not putting all these details. No one's going to hear about this unless they watch the end of the video, which most people won't. But I'm offering you this here right now. So if you want to get access to that $495 special offer where you can get coaching from me for 6 months and join my inner circle, which I do normally charge $5,000 for, then for the very first person only, and that's it because I'm not going to be disrespectful to anyone else, if you send me an email at Hal, my last name, HOWELL, trader, TRADER, haltrader@gmail.com, and put in the subject line 95% off inner circle. 95% off inner circle, and then I will know. And the very first person to email me. Now, here's what's gonna come, okay? If you get an email back from me saying, fantastic, here's the page to sign up, then you're in. But most people are gonna get an email, sorry, this position's already taken out. The coaching is now closed, because it's closed right now, right? You can't actually get access to it unless you actually apply for it. And then if you do get accepted, it's the full price anyway. So if you do like what you've seen in this video here, and again, I'm not gonna put the details below, and you would like a bit more coaching, but you would like a bit more handheld, the very first person to email me at haltrader@gmail.com, subject line 95% off inner circle, is going to get that. And then I hope this video really helps you out, and I'll speak to you guys real soon.